Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words. What they mean.
Hello all, and welcome to this. This will be a quick little vid, one that I've wanted to do all week and haven't had the chance. Busy sucks. Busy really sucks. Especially when the news tells you, oh, retail season this year is going to be down. Screw the freaking news. That's what I gotta say to that. Yeah, we're down. Yeah, try 20% up. It sucks. Anyways, no, that really sucked. Money's coming in, but anyways, what I wanted to talk about. Well, first, tomorrow, well, probably today when most of you will see this. Hopefully, most of you will see this before Man Up comes up, but hopefully some of you will see it tonight when I upload this. I'm just going to say this. You need to order this pay-per-view. From everything that the people who have already seen the pay-per-view, as Ring of Honor was smart, sent the pay-per-view to certain people who already review it, have already reviewed it, and have said, this is actually better than Driven. How this is better than Driven, I have no idea. I can't comprehend it, because when I first saw the card and I first heard everything that went down for this pay-per-view, I was like, sounds good. Sounds really good. Sounds great. Doesn't sound as good as Driven, but I was okay with that. Driven was really good. Apparently, it's better than Driven. Yes, folks, it's better than Driven. So all of you people that came on here and said, oh my god, this is better than Driven, and you can order this pay-per-view, you have the ability to order this pay-per-view, you need to order this pay-per-view. For all of you people that complain about WWE, for all you people that complain about TNA, you need to order this pay-per-view. If you're capable. If you can't order this pay-per-view because it's not going to be on your pay-per-view provider, you don't live somewhere where it's being shown, find a stream, have fun. Apparently this is an amazing pay-per-view. Super Dave himself has called this one of the best pay-per-views of all time. Dear God, one of the best pay-per-views of all time. So, since it's a 2-hour pay-per-view, I'm guessing that means it's on the same level as Canadian Stampede. Canadian Stampede, pretty freaking good, folks. Pretty good, especially for a 2-hour pay-per-view, let alone just a pay-per-view in general. As always, pay-per-view is going to be anywhere between $10 and $20, depending on where you live, the satellite provider, all of that. Check it out. I would definitely recommend checking this out from everything I've heard. The ladder match, or the ladder war, as Ring of Honor has called this, between the Briscoes and Steven Generico, apparently sounds just utterly amazing, and the fact that, you know, Metzler has pretty much come on here and said, yesterday he came on and said it was one of the best pay-per-views of the year. Definitely, he didn't even call it best pay-per-views of the year. He said it was one of the best shows of the year. And then turned around today and came out and said it was one of the best pay-per-views of all time. So apparently he thinks pretty highly of it, and since he's kind of the Siskel and Ebert of, you know, the wrestling review community, I think that speaks pretty highly of the pay-per-view. So if you get a chance, I would say check it out. I will be doing a review of it, as I'm sure everyone will probably be doing a review of it. Definitely check this out. If you can order it, order it. If you can't, you know, do what you gotta do. But if you can order this, definitely order it, because this looks like it's going to be an amazing event from what everybody's saying. This brings me to my next point, because a lot of people, I've seen a few videos about this, about the Ring of Honor bandwagoners, apparently, and the elitist Ring of Honor fans. I want to say this real clear. I came on here with the purpose of getting people to watch Ring of Honor. So I'm not going to come on here and write that people are liking Ring of Honor now, or they're jumping on the bandwagon. That's good. I want people to do that. I want people to be exposed to Ring of Honor. I want people to talk about Ring of Honor. I want Ring of Honor to get more popular. So, you know, I got no problem with that. Anyone that has a problem with that, I think, is being very short-sighted and not looking at what the real problem is with doing this. You know, there's people on the ROH message boards, which is always fun and exciting to look at, who are continually complaining that the product's changing too much when it's really not, and that, you know, there's all the, you know, and they're trying to, you know, because you've got all these new people coming on the message board, they're trying to show their intelligence, it feels like, and trying to be very elitist, in my opinion. And you have people who pretty much are saying, well, you know, I've been a Ring of Honor fan for, you know, since just the first show in Philly. That's fine, that's dandy. If everybody who said that if that was the truth, for everybody that said that, that show would have had like 10,000 people. 10,000 people at that Philly show, and it didn't. I have that DVD. ain't 10,000 people at that show. Maybe 1,000. Maybe 1,000. Probably closer to 500. You know, to be completely honest. You know, this is what I would say. We all began watching Ring of Honor at some point, at some time. We all learned about Ring of Honor. Someone showed us Ring of Honor. We heard about Ring of Honor. We checked it out. We took the plunge. A lot of people started following Ring of Honor from the pay-per-views. That's what the pay-per-views were for so people could be exposed to Ring of Honor who didn't want to buy the DVDs, didn't want to come on, didn't feel like, you know, well, why should I have to buy the DVDs? I don't want to do that. I want to watch it on my television set. That's what the pay-per-view is for. As ROH Styles said, Ring of Honor was very, very open about the fact that they looked at this as pretty much the pay-per-view as a infomercial for Ring of Honor, and basically a way to get their product out there, get their name out there, to help utilize the website and to sell more DVDs, which apparently is working because they keep saying that the pay-per-views exceeded their expectations, and I would hope that this is the biggest pay-per-view they do, because I always did feel before the pay-per-views that the third pay-per-view should be the best as far as a production standpoint and also from a buy rate standpoint, because I think that's kind of where the perfect storm hits and where they have to deliver. Apparently they delivered. Apparently they delivered in a big way, bigger than I even thought they could deliver. So I would definitely say go out, buy this pay-per-view if you are able. Again, I'm going to keep saying that. That said, come on here and say, well, you know, you've got all these new Ring of Honor fans because of the pay-per-view, and they're not real Ring of Honor fans. If they're spending money on Ring of Honor, they're real fans. I don't consider people who, you know, download the DVDs, all of the DVDs, for free off the internet, and then don't watch the pay-per-views, don't spend any money on Ring of Honor. I don't consider them real fans. So that's just me. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but that's the way I see it, because they're not supporting Ring of Honor. You got to support Ring of Honor in particular, since they do rely so much on, you know, now the pay-per-view buys and also pay-per-view buys and also the DVD sales, which is their biggest, where they get the vast majority of their money, and the house shows. And you have to spend money on those things, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion. And if people are willing to do that, then they're Ring of Honor fans. I don't care if they've only watched one Ring of Honor show. I don't care if they watched, you know, if they watched WWE and then saw a TNA show and jumped and said, man, I'm TNA for life now, and then saw a Ring of Honor show and said, wow, I'm now, you know, a Ring of Honor fan. The fact that they were exposed to it and they became a fan to it is the whole purpose of what the pay-per-views were for. I think it's completely moronic for people to come on here and basically say, well, you're not a real Ring of Honor fan. Who gives a rat's ass? If you're spending money, if you're supporting the product, if you're helping the product by supporting the product and legitimately supporting the product, then you're a real Ring of Honor fan, in my view. As I said, if you have the ability to watch this pay-per-view and spend money on this pay-per-view, definitely do it. You know, the fact that Messler did come out here and basically, you know, has praised this pay-per-view to no end is pretty amazing in my view, and makes me think the main event maybe kind of special, to be completely honest, because I can't see him saying this is one of the best shows ever unless that main event is just something just insane, to be completely honest. That's all I got. You know, this is probably not what a lot of people thought, but again, if you buy the pay-per-view, buy the pay-per-view, folks. Buy the pay-per-view. Buy it. Buy it. You will not regret it. You'll be like, oh my god, thank you. I'm serious. You know, you'll love it. If you can get it on your DVR, get on your DVR and, you know, watch it once and watch it over and over and over again. That's what I did on Driven. And apparently this is better than Driven, which surprises the hell out of me, but we'll have to wait and see. If it lives up to the hype, then yay, Ring of Honor. You have outdone yourself in ways not even I thought you could do. So there we go. Tomorrow night, folks, is when it airs. Start paying for the pay-per-view, folks. Come on, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's ride.